Hey everybody, it's your boy Captain Hunter coming at you again. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. I truly appreciate it. Make sure that you do me a favor, hit that rate, subscribe, and share button. Turn the audio down here. Hit that rate, subscribe, and share button. And let's make it do what it's got to do, right? So if you hear a little bit of noise in the background, I got my fan going. It's kind of hot, so forgive me for that. So here is, I was listening to Red Pill Sleeper Cell. I was listening to Red Pill Sleeper Cell, and some of the stuff he's got going on here. And he was checking out, or he was, I think it's a rebroadcast of, I can't think of the exact platform where he got this from, but I was listening to this rebroadcast. It'll come to me. Rumble. I think it was on Rumble. I'm not on Rumble, so I'm not very familiar with how they do their stuff there. The only critique I would say is if anybody's listening to this from Rumble, you got this particular, they gotta control their, they gotta do a better job with controlling the audience and who's speaking and be more coordinated with that, because it was difficult to kind of get through. I'm only halfway through there. I know this red line is showing you I only listened to halfway through it. Anyway, so let's get into it. So we're going to do a breakdown of what is ratchetness. I had never heard this term before. As I'm going for a walk and trying to get my workout in, I'm listening to this and they're talking about what is ratchet feminism. Ratchet feminism. Never heard the term before, didn't know what it was. And so it's apparently being taught in college courses. They had read through some stuff, and I'm going to go through some stuff as well to show that it is an actual movement within the sociological African American studies, sociological literature. It's in there, right? Ratchet feminism. I didn't know that. I think hip hop feminism. I didn't know any of that. Again, my education was limited to criminal justice stuff. I didn't study any feminist theory, literature, anything like that. So I'm very new to this realm. I'm trying to do the best I can to catch up, and so this is helping me to catch up. So we're going to listen to a little bit of this, and then we're going to explore what ratchet feminism is, because I had to look it up and I had to do some deep dives and all that. So I think that few people up here do have some degrees. This is a Dr. Goddess. This is Dr. Nova. I don't know if these people are real doctors or not. This for Harriet. I forget her name. Looks like it's the picture for Harriet, if that's actually her, in the lower left-hand corner there. But we're going to listen to these people, and we're going to dive into this. So check it out, and make sure you go over to this brother's channel, Red Pill, and give him some likes and give him some views and all that stuff, right? So, as you can see, I already liked it. As you can see, I already liked it.
And we're coping with them because they're out of our control. But there's a lot of things that are in our control. I wanted to go back to the other lady.
Okay, before the lady who's speaking, I think her name is Pink Pill, and I think her name is Maggie Thompson, right? I'm not familiar with the space and who's speaking. I think she does. I think she would be considered. I'm not even going to say this. I don't know who she is. I'm just going to leave it at that. So she can correct me. I'm going to add her in this, and she can correct me, tell me who she is if she wants, or whatever. But I'm actually in agreement with her. I actually agree with her. I may have heard some other things where I didn't agree with, but I do actually agree with her with this. So I picked this up about halfway through, and she's going to start in with talking about ratchet feminism. This is my introduction to it.
Is Dr. Goddess still on the stage? Because I want to ask her about something.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Dr. Goddess. So, I was looking up online. I don't even know how I got to this, but I was looking at feminist theory. Are you aware of a theory called ratchet feminism?
Yeah, Sexy Red.
Yeah,
Sure.
so no, it's literally a theory. Wait, hold on a second.
That is not ratchet feminism.
Wait, can I just
that is crap.
Now, again, there's a lot of interrupting, and I'm going to do it too, right? And again, let me claim fair use and all that kind of stuff, right? It actually is ratchet feminism. This woman who's speaking, who's trying to trying to debunk the fact that it's ratchet feminism. It actually is ratchet feminism, and I'm going to prove that. Sexy Red, Sukiana, Cardi B, this is ratchet feminism, and I will prove that. So she's absolutely right.
Baby Coonan.
Okay, so if you key in ratchet feminism, they are teaching this as feminist theory at universities, and they are saying that this is empowering to Black women. So instead of fighting against the stereotypes, ratchet feminism encourages Black women to lean in to the stereotypes and just be it. And now look around and see, like, all of these representations that you guys say are unpalatable for you, which I understand, but like, they are teaching this. So when you guys say,
Let me
like,
squabble with Pink
oh,
Pill real quick.
I mean,
Okay, so so I think the woman who's speaking is Pink Pill, and what I've heard about her, I'm going to just say what I've heard about her is that she doesn't date Black men, and she has a problem essentially with Black culture, and doesn't date Black men and wants and all that. So that's what I thought I heard about her. I'm going to add her so she can correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I had more water here. So yeah, so that's what it is. So this woman wants to squabble with her, and she doesn't agree with what she's saying. But again, she's cutting her off and won't let her get her point out. So let's continue to listen.
there's no squabble. Just look it up.
Oh,
Just
I'm curious what university is teaching ratchet feminism?
Well, it's okay. So when I was looking it up, I was not looking for the specific university.
I just looked it up. No, I just
It's a
looked it
real
up. Georgia
thing.
Tech. They're teaching this shit at Georgia Tech. I just looked this shit up.
That's crazy.
What the fuck?
So please, like, I mean, it's like every time I say something, it's like automatically people just don't want to believe me.
So
But
Pink
okay.
Pill,
Hey,
are
Lou.
they teaching them? Are they teaching them to be it, or are they teaching them about it?
No, they're using
like saying this is
Sexy
a time.
Red
Wait,
as like
wait,
an
wait, hold
icon.
on.
Yeah, they're using.
Wait,
Go ahead.
Wait, I was
like,
just playing. Wait, they really
like
use
to
Sexy
say
Red?
that this is a time in history you learn about what's going on. Like this is currently happening. Not to teach it to them to
Cleo, what
do
up?
it, but to teach them that this is happening. Is that what's happening, or are they
No,
teaching them to be
they're
this?
teaching it as empowering. Look up Ratchet Feminism. They are saying that this is an empowering thing for Black women to lean into the stereotypes and ditch respectability politics altogether and be
She's
as
right.
nasty as
She's
we
right.
want to be.
She's right.
Wait. Hold on, real quick.
I'm going to be breaking this up, but she's absolutely right. I want to get to the heart of this, but she's absolutely right what she's saying. Absolutely.
Somebody post it, please.
Yes, yeah. So Friday, you said you looked it up. Can you post it in the chat so I can post it up top? Because this is
Hey
some new
Lou.
information. Ratchet
Hey
feminism.
Lou, can I say something, brother? I like it.
But wait, we are not, but we're not having like an intellectually honest discussion about what ratchet feminism, quote unquote, even is, because we're talking about this being used as an oppositional to traditional white feminism, which is, about the purity, cleanliness, white politic versus Black feminism slash womanism, which would be considered ratchet feminism. So we can't have this conversation without actually clearly defining
What she just said. And I know this is on the fly. I get it. It's on the fly. But she is doubting what Pink Pill has just said. She's doubting it. So she can't believe that this is being taught. And she wants to clean up what ratchet feminism is. Now, again, this is on the fly. She may not have looked into it, but this is not what it is. What she just said about just quote unquote simple Black feminism or womanism, that's not what it is. It is absolutely leaning into embracing ratchet hood, ghetto, baby mama culture, twerking at clubs when you're 8 months pregnant behavior. That's what it is.
we're claiming ratchet feminism is,
Okay,
and no
good
definition
point,
has been
Khaleesi.
provided.
So can somebody read it? Because if not, I can. I
Yeah,
And
can.
read it.
please say who teaches this course. Is it a
I
white
mean,
woman
oh
or a
my
It's
black
all
woman?
God.
black women
Listen,
that teaches these courses.
Oh God, here we fucking
um,
go.
I can't even believe it. I don't believe this is true. They don't believe this is true, but this is true, and I didn't know about this. And this is a theory that's have been taught since the early 2000s or mid 2000s.
I mean, I'm about to
But
post. I'm
but
about to
Luke,
post it
can I
because we got a
please
list.
say
One of the
something, brother?
wait, hold on, Bullets, hold on. One of the women who teaches, her name is Jocelyn Wilson, and she's a professor at Georgia Tech. I don't know if she's white or black though.
Hey,
okay, so here it is. Here it is. Ratchet feminism. Ratchet feminism emerged in the United States from hip hop culture in the early 2000s, largely a critique of and response to respectability politics. It is distinct from black feminism, womanism, and hip hop feminism. So that answers your question,
That's
Khaleesi.
from
Ratchet
Wikipedia.
feminism co opts the derogatory term ratchet. Other terms used to describe the concept include ratchet womanism, as used by Georgia Tech professor Jocelyn Wilson, or ratchet radicalism, used by Rutgers professor Brittany Cooper. Ratchet is an identity embraced by many millennials and Gen Z black women and girls. The idea of ratchetness is empowering,
that's
or
a
of
fact.
ratchet
Right, because
feminism
she just said
has
it's a
been.
And Brittany
reclamation.
Cooper's a
Like,
black woman. Let's get that.
Are y'all
Listen,
reading the sources
And
They're
and,
though?
and can I
reclaiming.
please?
Oh my
are you
god.
understand? But are you?
Can't believe it. Where y'all getting this from? Where are you reading this from? Can't believe it. No, nobody would teach this. Nobody would embrace this. No black woman would embrace this. It's true. This is gonna be a long. This is gonna be a long video. I might have to break this up into two parts, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe make it a long one so you can listen to it in your podcast or whatever. This is gonna be in depth.
oh my God,
Comprehending
can it
what you're
wait?
reading.
She
Okay,
does.
can I
Not
just
And,
comprehending.
and
You don't
what
understand. You're too
exactly are
stupid to
they
before
understand.
you
teaching
jump
about
down
it?
my throat?
You're too stupid to understand it. You haven't been educated.
I'm trying to get to it. Like,
Wait, so
Hey,
you
they
guys
Luke,
are
said
so
after she
quick to
speaks,
that
can I
You
get
but
it?
wait,
listen.
wait.
Yeah,
No,
just
we
let her,
Because
gotta
you
bro.
get
Just
the
let
well
her
versed
facts.
land.
in
You
the
you
in the
do it
topic,
after.
so you should know offhand what it means and what it is. You
Right,
brought
because
the
it's like you
conversation up.
just saying it, like it's something
Okay, so
bad.
all right, so
Hey,
what's interesting is, yeah, so I just want to say this. I'm not saying this to be derogatory towards black women. I think it's disgusting. All right, so I'm not trying to shame black women or anything, but when we're talking about institutions that are putting poison inside of us and selling us poison and calling it empowering, I just thought maybe you guys would like to know. But what I find is that when I try to explain things, when people don't want to hear what I have to say, they try to overtalk me, so I can't actually get out what I want to say because people are too afraid of what I'm going to say.
No, Pink
um
Pill. We're just trying to understand what. Who the fuck muted me?
Wait,
Bruh, hold on. We're
but
trying to
Khaleesi,
understand what the poison is that you're claiming exists because so far I haven't heard it yet. So I'm trying to
wow,
understand
okay.
what the poison is that you're talking about when you talk about ratchet feminism, which is something you found in a Google search that you have not read
No,
any
that's not a
articles on.
Google search, man.
is Pink Pill
Yeah, that's what
done?
I'm
I'm
saying.
not.
Yes,
Like,
she
I
was
am not
done.
done.
Oh,
Yo, all right, so
One mic on
one mic.
Pink Pill.
Next person, come off her mic. I mean, come off your mic. I'm just shooting y'all, bro. Y'all doing too much now. That shit getting bad. All right, Pink Pill, it's on you.
Ratchet is an identity embraced by many millennials and Gen Z black women and girls. The idea of ratchetness is as empowering, or of ratchet feminism, has been articulated by artists and celebrities like Nicki Minaj, City Girls, Amber Rose, and Jungle Pussy. Scholars like Brittany Cooper and Mickey Kendall, and through events like Amber Rose's Slut Walk. Many view ratchet feminism as a form of female empowerment that doesn't adhere to respectability politics. Now, hold on a second. Before everybody jumps in, I'm going to give some references. Getting to the roots of Becky with the good hair, Beyonce's Lemonade, Brooks, the Lemonade Reader. Okay, and then here's another one: Uncluttering My Mother's Pearls, or Ratchetness and Residue of Respectability, Crunk Feminist Collective. Savage and Savvy, Macking Contemporary Hip Hop Feminism. I have um there are over 20 citations. So if anybody wants to tell, like, look, if you
yeah.
want to make this be a positive thing, You can. In my
It is
worldview, maybe
positive.
I'm just
Have you
So,
ignorant.
read
pink
Hey,
any of
pill.
the
hey,
citations
Pink
to
Wait,
pill.
characterize them as negative? Like, I'm just trying to understand if this is something you randomly Googled and found and are now just discovering and so readily critical
I
of,
No,
think
no,
you're
or
hey,
have
more
you
Pink
absolutely.
Pill,
upset
can
at
Googled
I
the
and
help
have
you
word
a
out, Pink
ratchet,
Pill?
perception of what
No,
it
no,
and
is?
no,
it's
no,
not
no.
that.
Wait.
and
Yeah,
she
because
did it.
Yeah.
respectfully,
Okay,
this is
so
just coming across as like someone who's anti-CRT but has never read any critical race
what?
theory and has no concept of what it actually means in academia or the lens that it's trying to present.
Okay, so Khaleesi, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not going to say another word. I'm not going to argue with you. If you think, okay, so here's how it goes. You want a story? No, I didn't just Google it. I've been thinking about this for months. I've been quiet about this for months. I've been, I've been trying to get more information, pondering how I'm going to talk about this, exploring the edges of it. So the fact that you think that I just Wikipedia or I just Googled it randomly, just goes to show that this is not a conversation you want to have in good faith. And I know you're an attorney, so I'm going to go ahead and
Oh my God.
and regulate it to you. I'm
She's an attorney. Now I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. I'm not and probably right now, not right now, but when it bleeps a little bit, I'll fast forward it because I want to get to a certain part when this attorney is attempting to tell her what it is. And but you can definitely go over to the channel, listen to the whole interaction. It's quite lengthy and it's quite good, quite honestly, when they're not interrupting each other and cutting each other off.
not going to argue with you, Khaleesi, but I will say this. I do not think that embracing what has hurt us stereotypically and then having it sold to us as empowering, and I don't care what spin you want to put on it, I don't think that it's a positive direction. But I'm not going to sit up here and argue with you, Khaleesi, about it because we are a different generation. And I know for a fact, because I was hard headed too, you're going to believe what you want to believe. So I'm
Ma'am,
going to
I'm just
step
asking
out.
if you read. Like, I don't see this has nothing to do with how old I am or how old you are or what you've thought about and explored on the edges. I asked a simple question. Have you read any of the literature? Have you read any of the articles that detail the Black women who spent the time to craft their thesis around this topic? Have you read
Yes,
any of those?
yes, ma'am. Let
Kalisha,
me tell
no,
you.
pink
Okay,
pill
wait,
on
Well,
the
wait,
she
wait,
probably
stage.
didn't read it
wait.
because she thought it was
Can I just
nonsense.
say something? Can I just say something? Yes,
Maybe she was
yes.
just introducing it to the convo. Like, y'all ever thought
Introducing it
about
to the
that?
convo,
She
and let
don't
me
have to
just say
read it.
this.
She think it's
Like,
nonsense.
um, all right. So
Well, I think it's nonsense too, but I did go read it because I'm nerdy like that, educated lame. But it's interesting. It's interesting, and I also find this woman Khaleesi, her response interesting. Just complete disbelief, but she is going to chime in on it. She is going to chime in on it.
so listen. Do I have relationships with professors who talk about feminist theory, especially as it relates
That's not what I asked,
to black?
ma'am.
No, but hold on a second. Let me just answer you. So yes, I regularly look through journal articles. I just had Chris Marsh, Professor Chris Marsh from the Love Jones cohort, come to my house. So we recorded a session on Black women and singlehood in the contemporary 2024. So Khaleesi, I know we don't know each other, but please don't assume that I'm just like pulling things out of my ass. And you did say that. You said it sounds like you're implying as if I just Googled this and I didn't do any research or have any kind of concern for the work that these women did.
Ma'am,
I
you just
do.
said you didn't read any articles. So I'm confused as how you did research and how you dug into ratchet feminism when you just said you talked to some people who are maybe black feminist adjacent, but you
No,
did
honey,
not
I didn't
read
say that.
any articles. Can I get a yes or no, please,
We
ma'am?
we done
Did
said
you
You need
read
to
articles
any
read
before.
articles
articles,
on
Kalisha.
ratchet
She is not
feminism?
here as an
Yes or
educator.
no?
The fuck? She is not required to educate you. Go read the shit
Yeah,
on your
read the
own.
shit on your own.
How
You
are
read
you gonna
everything
be
else,
No,
right?
let me speak, please. Let me speak. I am so tired of you, and I love you, Kalisha. You know that. Stop getting
Go
fucking
ahead.
mad because shit exists and you didn't know what the fuck it was. Because that
Nobody is
makes you
fucking
sound
mad
goofy as
about
hell.
that. I just asked if
Yes,
she
you are.
read the
Tell me if
fucking
you read it.
articles.
Tell me if you read it. Read it your goddamn self if
Right.
you want to
So
know about it.
You're
the
missing the point. I'm
so
not asking
Fuck.
her about
I
that. She
I
made a no, no, no. Stop
So I've
muting
been
me. Stop
quiet
muting me
on
because
purpose.
y'all are confused as
I
fuck, right? Let me finish. I asked her a simple question. She made a pejorative statement about something that she knows nothing about because she did not read anything about it. She did not read a thesis
It's
about it.
Clubhouse.
She did
Get the
not read
fuck
an
over it.
article.
This is
Okay,
not a
cool. That's
classroom.
great. That's
Everyone
great.
does
But
that.
this is intellectual
Everybody
gangbang,
introduces
right?
information.
So we do
Y'all
like
both
people
have a
to
valid
craft
point. I'm
Nobody
not gonna
needs to
lie.
give
informed
any damn
opinions.
They
citations in
both
here.
got a
Nobody's
valid
trying to
point.
educate.
No. Pink pill.
I
Wow,
mean,
now
if
we
you
can't
come in a
educate each
damn
other.
Respectfully,
random ass
this
clubhouse
is
room for
not that
education,
difficult.
you got a
I'm
fucking problem.
when we're gonna talk shit
Nobody's
about
trying to get
black
no
culture,
goddamn education from.
we need to actually read the black culture that we're shitting on because if we don't have a requisite understanding of it, then we shouldn't.
Hey, listen. So the point of this room, intellectual game banging, is somebody bring something to the table. Somebody brought ratchet feminism. I never heard of it. People are allowed to grill them on what they're presenting. It's not now. If Khaleesi disrespect her in the process, then I wouldn't be cool with that, right?
I didn't
But
though, for once.
that's what I just said.
Yes, you
So
did.
she
You
was.
kept screaming a question at her over and over again as if she was a child and she couldn't hear
It
you.
was a good
No,
squabble,
I
man.
asked
It
her
was a
to
good
answer
squabble.
a
All of
simple
those.
question. The fact
Stop
that she
screaming.
refused to answer the
My
Stop
question
bad.
tells me
screaming.
that she did not come in good faith
Stop
because
screaming.
any
Synchronicity. My
motherfucker can
bad.
read an 8-page article before they suggest something.
Stop screaming. No, that's
Hey,
all it is.
no.
All right, let me hold on. Wait. So let me ask. Everybody stay on mute. Everybody stay on mute because I got to play this clip, and then
Can
I'm
I
gonna
say
talk to you.
something as somebody who knows these women and interacts with them regularly?
Are you familiar with ratchet feminism, Kimberly?
Deeply.
Okay, one mic on you.
Love it.
I do know these women, particularly the Gen X women who are articulating these ideas. We disagree, but I understand where they're coming from. My first question would be to Pink Pill. Could you articulate what specifically about their articulations of ratchet feminism you disagree with? What are they
Yeah.
promoting that you find to be deeply, deeply disturbing?
Well,
I would
Hold on.
like to
Before you
answer.
answer, Pink Pill, let me play this clip real quick, and ask you this because this is in correlation with her question. Is this ratchet feminism? Real quick, everybody stay on mute. If you come off your mic, you got.
I'm BDF, nigga, baby daddy free. That mean I ain't got a nigga, baby coming out of me. So I'm ABORTING. On my way to the clinic, I forgot the plan B. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Yeah, bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Murder. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. I forgot the plan B. Ain't no nigga cuffing me. You can't put me on the shelf, bitch. I'm outside with the team. All these bitches having babies, but that ain't finna be me. Said he wanna settle down. Niggas selling all these dreams. He got 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid, 4. Bitch, he cheaper by the dozen if his ass have any more. And I'm only 25, still got a couple years to go. I don't need a babysitter, cause this baby gotta go. It's a shortage on the milk, and them diapers be expensive. I ain't tryna be a milf, so I swallow all his children. I got hyphy in my blood, so you know I'm big pimpin'. Niggas tryna fall in love, tell them niggas I ain't with it. I done took care of niggas, now it's time to care for me. Rearrange the alphabet and skip the L's, I'm a P. I be on these bitches' necks, they like Nick, I can't breathe. VVS is in my Cuban, and my wrist is AP. Let's go. Yeah, bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind.
Come on,
No,
man.
you did all
Can
that.
I
That's a
finish?
parody. That's
Can I?
not a.
Hey, hold on,
Yeah,
Kim.
I
Kim,
want to
wait,
finish.
hold
It's a
on.
parody. That can't be. It can't be real. Can't be real. These people don't they got no clue as to what's going on out there. It's a parody. It can't be real. So Kimberly, that is Kimberly Foster. That is Kimberly. I guess I'll add her as well. She, you know.
Just for
Her
new people,
body, her choice.
can you re-answer your question again, Kim, and then one mic on Pink Pill.
Yeah, I understand that Pink Pill disagrees with the nomenclature, disagrees with the associations. What about the theory do you
Yeah,
disagree
so
with?
okay, thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. I personally think that reselling us, and this is what I believe, truly believe, reselling us the most harmful stereotypes that have hurt us in other ways, and then selling it to us as empowering. Like we can all agree that the stereotype of the Jezebel and the Sapphire has been extremely damaging to Black women. It has been covered extensively by professors like Erica Cheetah Childs about how these harmful stereotypes impact every aspect of Black women's lives. And the where I get offended is that this bullshit of the neck twirling, finger pointing back in the 90s, or like this, these old notions that Black women are just like these sex hungry, animalistic, no self control, have babies everywhere, and then have that resold to us as a shit sandwich and say, listen, eat it. This is good food and this is empowering for you. You gonna sell me my own oppression? You gonna sell me my things that have hurt me and tell me that it's empowering? That is where I have the issue.
Now, that was a pretty comprehensive answer to me, but it's not going to be enough for Kimberly Foster. I believe that's who's going to chime in right now.
But that
Hey,
is not what they're
sound
Lou, I
articulating.
think
That is
Lou.
not what they're
Wait, let them finish
theorizing.
their dialogue, and then it's on my boy, and then we talk to new people.
Who is going with
Yeah,
Pink Pill,
yeah.
Lou?
Let them finish. Let them finish. All right, Kim, you wanted to
Yeah,
respond?
I
Pink.
understand that, and I'm saying this not to be a bitch. I understand that if you have a cursory understanding of the theory, that is what you would think that they are articulating. I'm trying to get you to drill down a little bit more because it does feel like an overview. So
Ma'am, I
you
am
said
not a
that
scholar. This
you're
is
saying
intellectual gangbanging.
you're
It
you're
was
you're
it
saying
was something that I
no.
proposed.
Intellectual gangbanging. Never heard that term. I have to look that up as well. I don't know. I'm not going to Google that right now. Intellectual gangbanging.
I didn't go through. I'm not doing my thesis on
I'm
it.
not
Like,
asking
damn.
you
Hold
to
on,
do it.
let Kim finish
I'm
though,
actually
cause she
not
didn't interrupt
asking
you.
you to
Let
do
Kim
a
finish.
thesis. I'm asking you to give us a quick summary of what you encountered in the reading
He
that
just
you
told
deeply
you.
object to.
Yes. Okay. So when they listed who they said were empowering, and that millennials and Gen Z were leaning into this, and they were saying that instead of um like buying into respectability politics, they're going this way. That's what the summary said.
You're
That is.
summarizing the Wikipedia
Oh
page.
my God. Okay, so listen. All right, since I need to have scholarly dissertations, just forget everything I said. I'm an
All right,
idiot. I have no
wait.
idea what I'm talking about.
All right,
We know.
I'll do it. Ratchet feminism
Don't try to
is
help her out.
basically women's hip hop, right?
No, it's not at
The hip
all.
hop
It's
genre
You
not.
can't say that. You
No,
of
can't say that, Lou.
of
You can't say
Elder.
that.
Ratchet
It actually is. It actually is.
hold on,
feminism is a
hold on, let me finish.
theoretical
Let me
framework.
finish. I'm gonna give you some artists because I wouldn't say all women hip hop. I shout out to women hip hop.
It's
They
not women
actually they
pop.
actually
That's
out doing the men.
not
So ratchet feminism would be Meg Thee Stallion,
Wait, I'll do it in
Sexy
another
No,
round.
Red,
no, no. You can't say that.
Glorilla.
No,
Bonnets
you
in
can't say that.
fucking public, Lou.
Yes,
Ratchet
yes, yes.
fuck.
Hey,
No,
Okay.
Lou,
guys,
Lou,
that is
can I say
actually
something,
not
Lou?
what they're
I
that's
know, I
Not
know, I
actually
know.
I
wearing
not
the
really don't know what
bra,
y'all talking
Yeah,
not
about.
I was
wearing the
joking. I
bra
was
in the
joking.
school
I was
office
joking.
when you're
I
picking up
don't
your
know what
fucking
I
Hey,
don't
kid.
know
can
what
them
ratchet
women keep going
feminism is.
back and forth? I
Hey, yo,
wanted them to
Lou.
keep
Which
No,
talking.
no,
ones, Al?
wait. So
Hey, Lou,
look.
keep The going. You was
So
right. squabble wasn't
hold
No,
done.
you
on.
weren't.
No,
Ratchet
he was
feminism.
not.
Hold on, just stay on mute. I was joking about the first one, but look, I'm gonna give you a prime example of ratchet feminism. It will be the video that I
You
played.
said you just heard of
Lou,
it.
you don't know what you're talking about.
I
Right.
Nah,
just
you
heard
don't
of
know
it.
I
what you're
Mute
talking
actually
about.
up.
I like
One mic. Everybody stay on mute.
He's trying, guys.
Ratchet
Let him try.
feminism would be Ratchet feminism would be a woman playing a music video talking about abortion, saying, "I got murder on my
That's a
Lou,
mind."
parody.
Wrong again.
Lou,
It's a
can I just
parody.
ask a quick
Parody.
question, Lou?
Nah, I'm new to this. I swear to God, I'm
When did
just.
you first?
We know.
I
When did
just
you
found out
first?
about ratchet feminism today.
When
I ain't
did
gonna
you
lie.
first encounter the term ratchet feminism?
Today, just now.
Okay, so 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
Yes.
So
Okay,
Kimberly,
so
Man,
And
that
based
how
yes
off,
was
old?
but
crazy.
listen, I have the range. I have the range to read the definition based off what Pink Pill is
Uh-huh.
saying, and I can correlate
That's
things
not how it
I'm
works.
comparing
sorry,
that
but
to that
can you look up
definition.
the
Yeah.
No,
Wikipedia
And a lot of
definition
us
for
have
critical
actually
no,
race
lived this
theory?
in
no.
Because
real
it
life. We
also
don't
So,
is
just
so
study
just
insufficient.
to
books.
give I can actually give a real quick like primer. I am at 35.
So
I'm a
you're a ratchet
respectable.
feminist. One mic on you.
I am a respectable negress, right? So I have had
Negress.
many
I like that.
contentious. I've had many contentious discussions with Brittany Cooper, with well, I don't even we don't need to
That's
go
my
into that.
homie.
Okay. Love really like her, Treva Lindsay, adore her, okay? But what they are trying to do is to create a more inclusive space within their feminist theorizing. The idea is that historically, Black feminism and the most exalted, the people who get the most space in Black feminist theory are respectable negresses.
Politically
The
correct.
women who are most educated, right? The women who come from middle class and upper middle class families. Their aim is to create space within feminist theory for women who don't have respectable credentials. So it's not about doing the worst shit ever. It's not. That is actually not what they're ever saying in their work or their writing, which is widely available.
It actually is. Kim is, she's just wrong. I mean, she probably has conversations, and maybe this is her understanding of it. But as we'll go through the literature here, I'm gonna prove to you that what she's saying concerning respectability and all this kind of stuff is incorrect. They want and they are embracing everything that Pink Pill said.
They are.
And also, right. So you got to keep in mind that these people. The people who wrote these articles, who are doing the lectures and teaching, right? They are the Kim Fosters, right? They are the people who are, respectable, educated, right? But they're writing and they are embracing this other side of them, and they're gonna get to this, right? This is the same as the embracing and the co-opting and the adopting of the N-word. It's the same thing. They're taking ratchet, not only the term ratchet, but they're also embracing the culture. So this is the problem I had with the N-word. It's not only just a word, but it's the environment. It's the culture. It's the meanings behind it, between positives and negatives, right? And so that's the issue that's one of the biggest issues that I have with it. And they're doing the same thing with the term ratchet. And Kim is not being. She doesn't know. I mean, this is on the fly. I'm not expecting her to know everything all of a sudden. But she's claiming to know, and this is not accurate what she's saying.
Actually trying to say that the work of feminism happens everywhere. It happens in the academy, it happens in upper middle class neighborhoods, it happens in Black churches, but it also happens in the hood. It happens in quote unquote ratchet spaces. And those women are just as worthy of listening to as the respectable negresses like me. That's what they're
They are
saying.
not.
You're
Yeah,
cooking.
so,
Why
Hey,
would you
Luke,
listen to
Sounds
people
like
finish
like that?
talking,
I wanted
brother.
Put a
Biggie.
gun emoji in the chat if y'all agree. Put a brain
Can
emoji in
I
the chat if
speak?
y'all
I
agree. All right,
agree.
hold on, wait.
You
Right.
want
How
to
would
know what's so
y'all
crazy
agree or
though, Lou?
disagree when you haven't read any of the
I can
articles?
tell
You
you
know,
why. I
you
can tell
you
you
This
you know
is
I'm
fucking
shorthanded.
crazy.
It's
Y'all sound like anti-vaxxers trying to tell a scientist about how a vaccine
damn,
works.
I
Kalisha.
was
But
gonna
that's
No,
say
no,
that
exactly
though,
what
Lou,
it's
no,
and
about.
no.
I
So
agree.
let
Let me say something real quick because I'm
so
shorthanded. I'm really short-winded.
Go
But the
ahead,
thing
Billy.
is,
But
it's crazy. It's crazy that we could commodify black so-called righteousness when y'all want to fucking twerk over my pancakes and French toast at brunch, but now all of a sudden they want to
And you like
teach
that,
it
You
and
got
at
a
you
class.
problem
I
with
do
that? You
like
got a
it,
problem
but
with
now
that,
all of a
bro?
sudden
you
it's a
like
problem.
it.
Now it's a problem because the thing is, y'all want to be niggas, but y'all don't want to be niggas. Y'all don't want to take on the full
What?
niggerly of the nigger.
No,
And
boo.
when it comes on to niggerly, like my uncles, my
Yo, what?
cousins, they got permanent gold teeth. Lou, let me.
He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. You want to take on these attributes, talk about it, be hood adjacent. This is the problem that people have with white people who want to be so-called down. But any moment now they can switch it up and go back to their culture. That's why a lot of people don't want or don't like when white people are in these quote unquote hip hop spaces. This is the same argument. He's absolutely right in what he's saying.
Look, they got real permanent gold teeth that they can never take out. And that's how I'm going to be. When my teeth come out, I'm going to get some permanent gold, Jeremy. But at the same time, it's like y'all want to be respectable, but at the same time, you don't want to be respectable. You only want one percentage of black people to be shown to the public. But at the same time, we don't have to be our best parts of ourselves to be shown to the public. So if they want to teach so-called ratchet blackness or ratchet femininity to people, let them teach it, because y'all ain't making nothing that's better than Sexy Red's Get It
Oh,
Sexy. So if you ain't making no song that's better than that, I need you to shut the fuck
hey,
up.
Luke,
Yeah, no, this is to the topic. My example, y'all already know, gonna be education based. I'm just gonna say the way some of these motherfucking moms show up in this school office with these sheer tops and no bra on, embracing your sexuality when you're picking up your fucking elementary kid, ought to be really illegal. There was a black principal in Houston for this reason, one of many, that tried to enforce a dress code for the moms when they were picking up their fucking kids, and they put her ass on the news and threatened to lose her job if she wasn't resigned. I get it, all the freedoms, and we're embracing femininity, but it's toxic, bro. Because it's really like you reserve the right to have a like just low vibrational ass behaviors, and everybody's supposed to accept it. I'm sorry. It's inappropriate sometimes. I know I sound like a L7 weenie right now, but I also have a job to do when I'm up there consulting and I'm up here working with a principal and a mom walks in half fucking naked and there's kids in the office going to the nurse, dropping off attendance papers, heading to the cafeteria, but you got your freedom to show your titties and your goddamn nipple piercings. And there's nothing we can do because you got your rights. So I just wanted to say that because some shit really is out of control. And I promise you, I'm for us. I'm pro-black, all of the things. I'm also saying that sometimes we got to reel that shit in just because it's not right. Thank you.
All right, real
What
quick.
does that have to
So
do with
hold on, you mute
feminism?
up,
Because
you mute
they're
up, mute up, mute
embracing
up,
their
mute up, mute up.
sexuality, body
She made a good point.
positivity.
Like, bro, you ain't gotta ask no questions.
Body positivity. They're embracing their sexuality. That's what it has to do with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ratchet feminism is why the NBA draft is full of biracials and these niggas that got never mind. Hey DJ, it's on you, do your thing.
Oh no, you didn't, Lou.
Hey, what I was just gonna say is the young lady that was speaking earlier, she she mentioned that that they using these terms and stuff like that to empower black women, but anything with a derogatory.
I had myself muted for a little bit there. So I was saying that the woman is correct. I knew I was going to do that. The woman is correct. There is a lot of ratchet behaviors that is exemplified. You don't want to bring these people to NBA drafts, NFL drafts, and all that. So it's really unfortunate that people are embracing this type of behavior, and it's really horrendous that this is going on. So
Name isn't something that you can
but who gonna stop us, boo? Who gonna stop us, boo?
make a positive. That's like a white boy saying nigger or nigga. We all gonna jump on his head. Why should some professor, no matter who she is, be able to tell you you're a ratchet and a feminist at the same time, and then you embrace it as if you empowering black women because that's the narrative they steered around it. When we was growing up, if I called a girl, that's that little ratchet thing right there. We was already sexualizing her. We was already making her. Uh, we was basically saying she's the low of the low. She's a scum. She's easy. She whatever negative that we can think of when that we put behind ratchet. There is zero chance of somebody coming out right now just because they got a career in something and being able to change that and make it a positive. No one on planet Earth can make nigger or nigga a positive but one race. That's blacks. If we call each other what's up, my nigga, we the only ones. Anybody outside our race say that, that's the same thing with ratchet. If somebody
Well, here's where I start to disagree with this brother. Listen, man, it's not a positive word. Just like ratchet, no matter how much they're trying to co-opt it, no matter how much they're trying to embrace it, it's not a positive word. It wasn't born from positivity. Same thing with the N word. It wasn't. I know we're trying to make it that way. I disagree wholeheartedly, and I think there's just going to be a disagreement after this, and then after that, we'll go into something else.
call you a ratchet, I don't give a fuck if you feel ratchet. You're still at the bottom in my book. That's the way I view it, and that's the way everybody should view it. And never. And if you're trying to say that you're a beautiful woman, you're a powerful woman, you can use words like beautiful and powerful. That way, you know what you're really dealing with instead of trying to have other workarounds to be able to make yourself feel good about somebody calling you ratchet. You are a ratchet for a reason, and you are beautiful for a reason. You're smart, you're courageous, whatever you want to call yourself, you are that. But there's certain terms that's never going to change, and that's one of them. So I think when you speak on that, you need to really, really do your soul searching and research before you do that.
Y'all
Can
think
I
the
ask
ratchet
you?
Did he
is a
just did he
nigga?
What
say
are you
anything
Hey,
at all?
talking
hey, Luke,
about?
can I
That was
can I
Was there
say
funny.
this,
anything
What
that
Luke?
he
are you
said there?
talking about?
Can I say something
Hey,
real
he
quick?
was cooking though. What's the
Yoshi was about to say
problem?
something though. Hey Yoshi,
Oh.
you
He
still
was
about to
cooking
go?
What the
water.
fuck y'all talking about?
I literally, no, you're actually not cooking, right? Because the whole point is that the same way that Black people are able to recontextualize and reclaim or whatever the word nigga, and it's an intra community word that we say amongst each other. That is what the ratchet feminists are trying to do. They're saying that this is a word that has been weaponized against them, and instead of allowing people outside of themselves to degrade them with that word, that they are going to reclaim it and find some kind of power within it. Now, I cannot relate to that experience, so I can't speak to them, but it's the same thing. We see people do that with bigoted language all the time. It's not a new thing.
Hey, can
Yeah,
I
so
say
this
I
is
something?
one of
always
the
tell people
this
all the
is
Luke,
one of the
time.
biggest issues I have with that
Hold
Kimberly, we
word.
on,
don't
wait.
read books, man. Don't
Wait.
read
She was
books.
talking to DJ. Let him respond.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
my bad.
and then
So
it's
so
on Yoshi, and then B
thank
Gotti.
you.
so for me, I am from the culture, and every now and again, I let people be like, "Yo, what's up, my nigga?" But that depends on where we are, what setting, right? And if we by ourselves, or when we get by ourselves, I'll be like, "Hey, bro, next time we chilling, bro, call me DJ." That is my nickname, not my nigga. And so because I am here to change stuff, I got a daughter, I got two daughters, and if I ever as a dad heard someone calling my daughter ratchet, I don't give a shit how empowering it is. I'm gonna let my baby girls know that is not empowering. That is actually making you look like the scum of the earth.
The
So
point is
as a
that the
dad,
word is not.
and as a man and a black man who actually fight for his community, I would be opposed to you being able to find a positive in that. I would say that whoever teaching that, they need to just use regular words, because we black people, and we deserve that stuff. We deserve to be called beautiful. We deserve all this stuff without no workarounds. Don't ever accept that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think that it's totally, you are free to reject any label that people want to impose upon you. But if other women are saying that they find some kind of power, or that they feel good, or they find a sense of community by reclaiming that language, how are you able to tell them that they're wrong?
Because
Kimberly,
I'm a man.
Okay, I'm going to leave it off right there. So you can go over to that, check it out. But I want to we're going to dive into the second half of this is going to be just exploring what exactly they're talking about. Now, these people did it on the fly. There was the one lady there, Pink Pill, who was trying to, at least do some reading and trying to introduce it what it is. Kim Foster tries to chime in and say, whatever. And good dialogue back and forth, and I thought there were some good examples from the music that they played, and to the example of the ladies who do show up at schools wearing all kind of craziness, right? So but they're embracing this. So let me explain to you what I mean by embracing this. All right, so these I'm going to show some of the articles that I kind of researched here, and as was mentioned, and they're absolutely correct, that I got these from Google Scholar, and I did read them over. So I did read them over. So we are going to take a look at these. I want to make sure everybody's showing up here. Okay, Ratchet Politics, Moving Beyond Black Women's Bodies to Indict Institutions and Structures. This is by Nadia E. Brown and Lisa Young from Purdue University. So here's some of the stuff that is being talked about, et cetera, et cetera. And this is just one of the many articles that I read in order to get ready for this. Right, the term ratchet has been widely circulating in urban environments and adopted by millennials in both mainstream and countercultural circles. The first use of the word in pop culture is attributed to a 1999 song by Anthony Mandingo of Shreveport, Louisiana, titled "Do the Ratchet." The track is included in an album Ratchet Fight in the Ghetto, but was popularized by a 2004 remake of that song featuring, let me make myself a little bit smaller here. Maybe I'll make this a little bit smaller. Because I want to, yeah. All right. Let's see. The producer of the song, Funk Dog, penned the definition of ratchet in liner notes. According to Dog, ratchet is noun, pronoun, verb, and adjective to be ghetto, real, gutter, nasty. It's whatever, bout it, etc., outright, or thrived, or tiv. The particularities of the term stem from the experiences, lifestyles, and realities of working class blacks in the American South. Others have demonstrated a connection to the word wretched, to appear miserable, mean, or dejected, pronounced as wretched or ratchet by those with heavy southern drawl. The mere mention of the word ratchet seems to evoke a myriad of visceral imageries and cues. While context matters deeply, the use of the term has been primarily used to describe the conduct of a person or group or people. Later popularized by the mainstream by the then teenage Louisiana rapper Hurricane Chris in 2007, ratchet has become a choice word for describing the indecent actions of a particular caliber of African Americans. Bowen offers up a definition in her article, Let's Get Ratchet, Check Your Privilege at Your Door, stating that ratchet has become the umbrella term for all things associated with linguistic, stylistic, and cultural practices witnessed or otherwise of poor people, specifically poor people of color, and more specifically, poor women of color. What is often easy to see ways in which ratchet is racialized term, Bowen makes it clear that it's also very gendered in its uses as well. The term is particularly used to denote the less than respectable demeanor of black women. While these actions can be associated with a number of different identities, it is mostly geared towards black women. Similarly, a Google search of the term delivers countless YouTube videos, memes, and pictures of black women engaging in ratchet behavior, aka or e.g., fighting, dancing provocatively in an inappropriate location such as grocery stores, or failing to parent their children, and wearing ratchet clothes or hairstyles, multicolored weaves, or tight and revealing clothing. You can go on and on with this, right? L.H. Stalling builds upon Art Robin D.G. Kelly's use of their surrealism as a way of drawing attention to how transformed thought patterns and dreams have historically provided a revolutionary space for beginning to think of liberation within the black community. Using the phrase a black radical imagination, Kelly posits that black people's engagement with radical, counter-theoretical philosophies and politics such as black nationalism, communism, surrealism, and feminism inspired new tactics for achieving liberation. In this vein, Stallings views the black ratchet imagination as also providing a productive context for post-work imagination and anti-work activities that do so much more for gender and sexuality. They're embracing it. They enjoy it. They like it. We embrace, just like we embrace feminism, we embrace surrealism, communism, black nationalism. Let's embrace ratchetism. This is what they're saying. There are several concerns about ratchetness as a site for progressive black culture and aesthetics. For example, take the Bury the Ratchet campaign led by Michaela Angela Davis in the late 2012. The campaign was designed to have a targeted conversation about the impact of ratchet reality TV shows. Held in conjunction with a historically black all-women's university, Spelman College, Davis' intentions were to feature successful black women who contradict mainstream images providing a more holistic representation of black female identity. In response to this, feminist scholar Heidi Lewis cautions against advocating for the complete removal of television shows that include ratchet black women. Here's a woman. I don't even know. This is a woman white with a name like Heidi. I'm imagining she's probably white. Heidi Lewis, feminist scholar. No, we ought not to get rid of all this black. Let's leave some spaces for that. It's important to show ratchet black people on TV. For Lewis, ratchet tendencies are not mutually exclusive or based solely on factors such as class. And it's not just based on class. This is the problem. This is the problem that BGS Ibmore talks about when he talks about the Moynihan Report and the different scholars that came before him. Kenneth Clark, The Dark Ghetto. When we talk about this type of behavior is going to infiltrate. It's going to infiltrate the black community and the upper middle classes. This is it's not just, and this is what she's saying. It's not just regulated or relegated to classes, not just poor, but you could be ratchet and be middle class. Instead, she posits many upper class and professional black women partake in and rightfully enjoy getting ratchet or letting loose to have fun. As Lewis reminds us, rendering ratchet is both demeaning and performed solely by lower class black women erases the experiences of others. If you wonder why so many of these ladies only want Tupac in a suit, it's because this is where they come from. And they embrace it. They like it. In this paper, we seek to shift the interpretation of the word to the very ratchet institutions that enact a kind of violence. Telling people to not be ratchet is violence. Kind of violence in the lives of black women, rendering them invisible and at times leading them to react in a ratchet manner. The purpose of this paper is not to determine whether ratchet behavior should be viewed as acceptable or not, nor is it to engage in the debate about whether such portrayals of black women should be on television. Instead, we ask, what is ratchet about such institutions as heteropatriarchy? It's all the white male patriarchal fault. White supremacy and capitalism. How do these structures lead to the silencing of oppression of black women, and how might black women use ratchetness in order to be able to be made more visible or to secure some form of self-autonomy? We argue that black women who engage in ratchet behavior often do so as a reaction to their membership in a polity that defines their humanity within structures of ratchet politics. These fancy words, all that sentence means is you stop looking at us through these lenses and stop trying to define us and let us be ratchet. That's what that means. Let us behave the way that we want to behave. We stress the importance of moving beyond the attention given simply to black women's behaviors and bodies. Examining structures and institutions that allow researchers and practitioners to ask new questions about the rules and hegemonic norms that govern black women's bodies, right? What is normal? What does it mean to be respectable? What does it mean to be demure? What does it mean to be accepted at the mayor's ball, the governor's ball, and to walk the White House powers? What does it mean to sit on a Supreme Court? What does it mean to be a district attorney for Fulton County and get ghetto as you're being questioned about interactions? Fannie Willis. We stress the importance of moving beyond examining structures and institutions. We define ratchet politics as policies. Right, these are the real ratchet people. This is what she's saying. These are the real ratchet people. It's the policies, the structures, the institutions that promote or result in inequality, oppression, and marginalization. That is the real ratchetness. Ratchet politics deny human beings their full humanity as citizens or residents of a nation state. Policies or government practices that effectively oppress poor women of color by maintaining a subset of population of economically ratchet politics. Additionally, certain bodies are ratchet transgressors in that they are able to react to enact ratchetness, but not be fully viewed as ratchet. Middle and upper class black women, like Real Housewives of Atlanta, are shielded by their wealth, education, and fame from the daily onslaught of ratchet politics that govern poor black women. I doubt that, because she's trying to say that they're not looked at as being ratchet, and they are. You want to embrace their ghetto ratchet behaviors, and they're fighting and all that. They're undercutting each other and they're fighting and all that. But you don't want to be. But you think that that you're somehow better because of class structure. While the women of a Real Housewife of Atlanta may act ratchet on television, they are not viewed as being completely ratchet because they embrace certain aspects of respectability, such as marriage. They're married, entrepreneurship, and the illusion of wealth. Those are just some of the things. I read this whole thing. Yeah. So you can go back to that, right? So this is part of a bigger thing, broadening the contours of studies of black politics, and it's a contribution that was in here. All this is available online. Let's go to this one. I'm a stripper hoe. The sonics of Cardi B's ratchet diasporic feminism. Love and Hip Hop, right? This is Love and Hip Hop. You know, she's the first couple of sentences there. She was struck by her, the way that she communicated. The politics of respectability function as a way for marginalized people to police their own and each other's behavior. In other words, when your mother told you to calm down around when you go into this building, don't act a fool when you go into the doctor's office, don't act a fool when you go into the city hall to pay your bills. It's starting to rain and thunder, so forgive me. I'm not going to close my window because it's hot. All that type of stuff, right? When your mother told you that she was engaging, or your father told you that they were engaging in some form of respectability politics, when the principal in the store that the lady gave was making policy about parents who are coming to the school to pick up their children must dress appropriately, she was engaging in respectability politics. And they are saying we need to push back against that. What does it mean to be respectable? What does it mean to be polite? What does it mean to walk around in mixed company and all this? They're challenging that notion. And why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I teach criminology. I teach forensic psychology. I teach criminal justice courses. What is the impact and the outcome of people who engage and embark in these types of behaviors? In particularly the males. The females, and I'm going to show this, the females, the ladies, are often excluded from the penalties of this type of behavior. But if you're raising males in these environments who don't think that they need to adhere to certain cultural norms, societal norms, then they'll reject how they talk to the police, they'll reject how they talk to the teachers, they won't be able to have a job, and all this type of stuff. There's a danger to it. Modes of speech, dress, comportment, in order to adhere to a class ascendant and majoritarian definitions of propriety. The limitation of respectability politics, as Brittany Cooper articulates, lie in how they are steeped in elitist, heteronormative, and sexually repressive ideas about the proper black womanhood. Sounds of ratchetness. In her essay, A Ratchet Lens, Black Queer Youth Agency, Hip Hop, and the Black Ratchet Imagination, challenges the usage of ratchet to define black women as loud, high-tempered, and promiscuous. A ratchet sound is disruptive, sonically challenging the limits of proper behavior for women of color through the interplay between sound, image, and message, drawing on the work of Cooper, who pushes us to imagine a feminist practice in female subjectivity beyond the binary of respectable and ratchet. Love's essay proposes a necessary methodological approach, one that radically engages the visual and the oral and sonic in what terms Black Ratchet Imagination lens. A Black Ratchet Imagination is grounded in recognition of complicated ways in which agency of Black queer youth who are resisting succumbing to finding pleasure in hip-hop by undoing the heteropatriarchal, liberating, queer, homophobic, sexist, and feminist, and hyper-local, global, ratchet, and conservative space of hip-hop. In other words, rebel against all of this stuff. Talk your talk, be yourself, and don't be conform to this type of stuff. And they should, I'm imagining, expect you to get jobs. And if you don't, you should be able to hire. And creating the groundwork for all these further D&I initiatives, right? Ratchet signifies modes of behavior that challenge respectability, politics, intentional or not, and often operate as sites of resistance for people erased and objectified in representation, popular culture, and the public sphere. To be clear, as a ratchet feminist, Cardi B intentionally uses hip-hop alongside trap and reggaeton to sonically articulate diasporic feminism that encompasses the complexities of her racial and ethnic identity while simultaneously performing her disavowal of a proper, respectable behavior for women of color. I don't know. There's no citation for this statement at all. I don't know where she got this from. Cardi B is intentionally doing that? She's intentionally doing that. This one, I've seen videos of Cardi B saying, when I'm trying to make positive hip hop, nobody listens to it. She's just going where the music is going. But she was trying to paint her as some type of listen, I'm not an artsy type of person. It's some type of, Rembrandt of knowing what they're doing and painting outside the lines and all this type of stuff in order to create a conversation that we need to have about respectability. Cardi B is not doing any of that. This woman said, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring. But meanwhile, there's a video of her sweeping up in her house. What are you talking about? All right, so I think that listen, you can read all this. I did read it all. I'm not going to read it all because I'm not make this all. Here's another. Is this the same one? That was a stripper hoe, right? I'm a stripper hoe, right? This is look. I'm a stripper hoe, right? These are academics who are creating these titles, right? Document generated. That was me. That must have been when I got it. But it's 2022. Cardi B. This is another one. Is this the same lady? No, same, different lady. Cardi B, Beyonce Complex, the ratchet respectability and black adolescent girlhood. Right. More stuff about their bodies and youth and rebelling against the machine. Here's another one that popped up when I was searching all this type of stuff. Right. This is the dirty South feminism. The girl has got 'em. The girl has got something to say too. The girl has got something to say too. Southern hip hop women fighting respectability, talking mess, and twerking up in the dirty South. There's a few things in here I highlighted. Let's read through it. I read through this all. This is all available through Google Scholar. This is not. One of these I did have to get, and there's another article I want to read that I had to ask my librarian for that I couldn't get yet. So here it is. Let's see. Dirty South feminism and the women of the South. With the rise of Southern hip hop, black women were able to tell stories in the mid 1990s. This is why I'm saying that the term and its incorporation into the mainstream is a musically dominated and culturally and musically relevant genesis and nexus. It encompasses all of that, but its origins are hip hop music. Portsmouth, Virginia, 1991. Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott's the only one I know. I don't know Maya X, Gangsta Boo, LaChat. I don't know any of them. However, the majority of Southern hip hop culture has failed to acknowledge the accomplishments and uniqueness of black female rap artists, DJs, and dancers as significant contributors as Southern lyricists, producers, and performers. In contemporary hip hop and traditional black feminist studies, black women's engagements in Southern hip hop has been critically pathologized, victimized, and loosely explored. Okay. Scholars have classified black women as hip hop as modern day Jezebels and sapphires who lack agency and control due to the misogynistic images and hetero-patriarchal structures in the industry. In other words, the black guys were putting them into music videos and rapping about them. So now these ladies are saying, we're going to take the power back. This is what this is. We're taking the power back and we're going to sexualize ourselves through Sexy Red and all these other ones. We're going to sexualize ourselves. We're going to be our own producers. We're going to control our own stuff. So you're not going to do it. We're going to do it. What does that do for our children? What does that do for our communities? What does that do for our neighborhoods? What does that do for our cultural, ethnic, global image? Ultimately, this singular narrative achieves two flawed goals: erasing the possibility of agency and experiences of black women and girls, and introducing notions of respectability that formulate in the South. Southern, and I get that there's a problem. I erased out all that. I didn't mean to do that. I get that black people have been erased, ignored through every single media, from advertisements to music to movies. I get it. I understand it. And I get that we wanted to create our own. But this that we have created is not helping our communities. It isn't keeping us out of jails anymore. It isn't getting us to stopping creating any more businesses. Maybe some of the upper middle class ladies are, because they're getting access to more loans, grants, things like that, which is great. Employ black people, right? However, hip-hop feminist scholars highlight the social and political contradictions in hip-hop by underlining black women's abilities to have agency over their bodies, lyrical themes, and sexual desires while challenging misogynoir in hip-hop. I read all this. Nothing more than, just nothing more than that. It's just all silly. They just wanted. This is in religions, right? Let's see. I read that one. Dirty South, Cardi B. Okay, here's the one, and we're gonna leave it off with this one, right? So this one is a great article. It's a good article. It's a great article. Shout out to Shardy M. Davis and Tamika Townsend, because they really tell us about these upper class, as Kim Foster said in that last one, respectable negresses, right? And she called herself that. Let's see. So this starts off, right? So this is about Girls Trip. This is about Girls Trip and the people who went to go see Girls Trip. This article uses ethnographic methods to explore the ways that black women, and notice that there's always this X in here because because I'm assuming they don't want to acknowledge men in any way. Talk about misandry. Talk about misandry. Don't want to even mention men in this at all. Collectives, black women collectively engage in appropriated the ratchet performances in Girls Trip during their viewings of the film in the movie theaters. So this article, transferring theaters for disrespectable leisure and ethnography on black women's ratchet performances in movie showings on Girls Trip. So what they did was they went to these ladies from these universities, went to I think it was 21 different movie theaters went around the time the Girls Trip came out, and looked at the entire transformation of the movie theater and how they changed it for their own comfort and comfortability. Interesting read this is. I'm telling you, this, of all the stuff I suggest, you really should read this. And so what they're going to say is they identify with the actresses in their cast. They identify with these people and the types of personalities that they were. They reunite and situate in contextual and multimedia, and they show all this stuff, right? There's something else in here I wanted to read. I don't know if I highlighted it or not. Let's see. In the movie ECI invites Ryan Pierce, lead protagonist portrayed by Regina Hall, to serve as the festival's keynote speaker. A budding self-help personality, Ryan has spent years monetizing on every woman's image as portrayed in the book. Every woman's image, right? The different personality types, right? Which one are you, right? When you're watching Girls Trip or Set It Off or whatever, both of those movies I liked. Well, I didn't really like. I like Set It Off. I didn't like Girls Trip. I wasn't, and I thought that Tiffany Haddish character really brought it down to this ghetto ratchet behavior. That's what I thought was a drag in the movie. You can have it all. She invites her friends along to share her success and also perhaps to comply with the sisterly aura that the event cites. Right? You can have it all. Right? You can be this high-powered person. You can have it all. You can be this high-powered individual, have a loving husband, have children, be a little bit ratchet on the weekends, right? You can have it all. You can do it all, right? For the purpose of the study, we define ratchetness as an expressive posture whereby black women publicly engage in behaviors deemed disruptive that deviate from norms of courtesy, civility, and restraint, drawing on data collected from 21 total showings at I got my window open. Forgive the sounds in the background. 2 local theaters in the northeastern city. We assess how black women moviegoers drew on and amplified the film's strategic resistance to middle-class black ladyhood by deploying ratchet behavior. These are middle-class ladies who intentionally went to the movie theaters and deployed ratchet behavior, and the researchers were watching this. That is, interacting in ways that exceed the bounds of cinema etiquette and create a space for intimate, familiar, and informal interactions. By reading, I'm skipping around a little bit here, right? These are parts that I thought were important. By reading audiences intentionally disrupt the presence alongside the film's own deviant gestures. We illuminate how movie patrons reconfigured the theater, a space not designed for black women's comfort. So movie theaters are not designed for black women's comfort. We keep saying that we keep saying that we're all human. We keep saying that race doesn't matter, but they're saying it doesn't. As an environment where black women collectives could perform a multi-dimensional personhood unencumbered by the white gaze. What is it going to be like when white people ain't around? We can really let our hair down. I think if a black guy wrote this, if a black male or white male wrote this, they'd be called a bunch of racists. Importantly, Girls Trips locates ratchetness within the realm of professional black women. Remember all that stuff that the video that I played earlier when Kimberly Foster and the other lady was saying, no, this is not true. It's not that. It's you're misquoting it. Here it is. Here it is. There it is, right there on the screen. Locates ratchetness within the realm of professional black women in their late 30s and 40s. The 4 actresses cast in this ensemble comedy were each middle-aged and approaching middle age at the time of the film's release. While televisual programs such as Insecure in the 20s afford black women characters the latitude to misbehave on the basis of their youth, Girls Trip compels the audience to explore messiness among black women whose maturity supposedly exempt them from such demeanor. It's okay to be messy at times. The film therefore presents a rich case study for assessing the affordances and limitations of ratchet performance in the contemporary media landscape. Other media scholars, including Rachel Coates and Kristen Warner, have argued that mediated ratchet performances may be particularly generative for the black women who engage them, given that this group must negotiate ideological constraints which automatically place them outside the bounds of hegemonic ladyhood. Other people have explored this. Finally, Girls Trip is a useful impetus for exploring black women's communicative acts of resistance because of how the movie invited disruptive performances from black women moviegoers. It invited it. The movie invited disruptive performances. Man, there's a lot more. Analyzing the data in tandem provide a unique vantage point to consider how black women's audiences for a Girls Trip engage in oppositional behaviors to transfigure movie theaters into spaces for pleasurable, demonstrative, and messy communication interactions. I'm telling you, if a white guy wrote this, or if a male wrote this, you're transforming theaters and you're. When I collected data in the field, I arrived at the theater 45 minutes before the showing to observe black women as they purchased tickets at the counter and food at the concession stand, entered into the theater, selected their seats, and engaged one another before the movie began. When I entered the auditorium, I chose a seat that gave me a clear yet inconspicuous view of the entire audience. During the film, I observed and noted, using a notepad and pen, people's reactions to the movie, loud laughter, attentively watching the movie, parasocial interactions with characters in the movies. Here's what she means by this: parasocial interactions, anticipating and completing characters' lines, interactions among movie audiences, women talking to each other about the movie during the movie, and physical setting of the movie theater. The configuration of audience members in the theater, where people were sitting at. You sit close to the theater, you sit back, sit with your friends. Additionally, I noted who attended the movie. Group of 3 black women, Latin romantic dyad. I'm not exactly sure what she means by that. Is that male, female? There's a black male, female, lesbian relationships. What does that mean? Group of white men. I bet you these white guys where they're trying to see, okay, I want to date some black women. Let me do some research. I guarantee that's what they were thinking, right? Group of white guys. Let me just check out this ratchet ghetto. Let me see how I can get close to black women. And drew maps to indicate where individuals sat in this showing. Oh man, let's see. Data analysis. Movie theater etiquette organizes the chaos of American life and public spaces, and while these behaviors expectations are in place for every patron, they are compounded with a deeper history of control and regulation of black bodies, specifically black women. Since the 19th century, there have been a cultural code for decorum of any black woman who dare to travel to and around public domain. Now, listen, I get it. As black people, we had to be quiet, we had to be seen, we had to be very, 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 very demure, black males and females. Yeah, I get it. I get it. You want to rebel against this. But casting off those chains and embracing this foolishness is 2 totally different things. Whereas the original American sin of chattel slavery perpetuated a system through which enslaved Africans could be sold, raped, or maimed at whim, at the end of the Civil War invoked the hope of establishing black womanhood as worthy and valuable. Efforts to map humanity. Why they got humanity? There's an A in humanity. Put that X in there, right? Onto the black body invited a set of rules of engagement for black women leaders. She forgot to do. She's just quoting this person. That's what I was going to say. She forgot to X that one out. And in the late 18th and 19th centuries, black women, in tandem with work with Black Baptist Church, endeavored to cast themselves with living contradictions to the pervasive racial and gender caricatures of the time. Members of this population developed the politics of respectability as counter discourses that promoted morality, cleanliness, politeness, and self-restraint, sexual purity, and frugality. The philosophy behind respectability undoubtedly appeals to a system of white supremacy, a belief that assimilation to white culture would engender humane treatment and showcase black people as worthy of civil and political rights. And that has not been the case. And listen, again, I'm going to say it again. I get it. When we tried to assimilate, we tried to, give ourselves these white names and try to do our hair like certain people and bleach our skin. It still didn't stop us from being lynched. Still didn't stop the pervasive racism and racist acts against women, black men and women. I get it. I really do. For black women, respectability is also rooted in heteronormative femininity, which purports the adoption of particular behaviors, invisible, quiet, meek. There's something in here about I know for example, defines Ratchet as the embodiment of black femme liberatory consciousness built upon and transmitted through cultural knowledge, performance. By leveraging and not rejecting their status as deviants, argues black women's reality show cast members enable libertary possibilities not always enjoyed by their respectability counterparts. So this was actually a very good read, but women often talk to the screen to each other, saying out loud what would be an internal commentary under normal circumstances, right? One woman elaborated on this point in this focus group. I think sometimes we go to the movie and think we forget there, like watching a movie. Oh, I forgot. Oh, talking back, yada, yada, yada. There's something in here, but brought their own. Oh, here it is. In addition to the sensory modalities of sound, touch, and movement, audiences also indulge in food and drinks that are commonplace in Black American culture, yet atypical for the movie theater. This included home-cooked meats. So they're bringing in home-cooked meats. And I really wouldn't have a problem with. Well, I do have a problem with bringing in home-cooked foods. I think that I'm pretty sure it was in here as well that they brought in. Special vendors, and if you're gonna bring vendors into the movie theaters, I don't have a problem with that. But not buying the popcorn, and you're coming in here with your own home cooked meats and baked chicken and ribs and mac and cheese and sautéed vegetables and cornbread. And I'm getting hungry just reading this. Black women typically pre-packed their food in plastic Tupperware and ate from the container using utensils from home during the film. Other audience members sipped on beverages that were in glass mason jars, plastic coffee mugs, and these are middle-class Black people. Or individually packaged wine bottles. Interestingly, some of the food brought in the theater was prearranged, planned for the private screening events, chose theaters that served alcohol to the public, and arranged for Black-owned restaurants to serve food commonplace in the lobby. However, other women undermined theater rules and procedures and brought in meals, cocktails, and snacks from outside. Again, if you're gonna have these Black-owned restaurants and etc., provide services, that's fine to me, as long as you give the theater, a cut of whatever that would be. That's I don't have a problem with that. By coordinating their trips to the theater, introducing typically unsuitable elements such as a live DJ to the collective viewing experiences, and provoking spectral practices that are normally forbidden, these Black women transformed their environment. They also shifted the space through their interaction with the cinematic text. In this sense, the symbiosis between the reconfigured cinema and the playful effect within Girls Trip was palpable. Scholars have defined parasocial interaction as a mediated phenomenon whereby audiences identify with the media figures, develop empathy for them, and their use of actions and framework or interpretation of their own lives. For Black women, parasocial relationship is strengthened by what Bobo defines as a particular kind of interpretive community. Various codes and vocabularies emerge from Black women's consciousness based on shared experiences. These yield what Bobo calls a instant intimacy between Black women and media fixers and their audience's counterparts. Black women, kind of my age, have similar ways of looking at life, similar personalities, yada yada yada. I'm telling you, this was a good read. Showing of the film. Ratchet is so constructed within the sisterhood and fluid. Showings of Girls Trip presented an opportunity for Black women audiences to transfigure a space that was not designed for their comfort or pleasure. Why would you think that? By explicitly articulating and promoting ratchet expressions of Black womanhood situated at the intersection of playful and excessive behavior, audiences transgressing the boundaries of decorum to create a home place that was more suitable for their spectatorship. Their collective action, showing up in droves and opting for a hyper visibility, practicing disruptive spectatorship using various sensory modalities, sight and sound, engaging in parasocial ratchet interactions with the characters on screen, worked in tandem so patrons could celebrate Black female subjectivities and shared sisterhood. Let's see. I wrote here, this is a lame attempt to disassociate ratchetness from middle-class Black women. This ethnographic study revealed how Black women whose age and professional status typically exempt them from the association with ratchetness may nevertheless engage in public deviance in a conscious manner. Their ratchet performances did not include acts commonly associated with the term, throwing champagne bottles, cursing, and fighting. I agree, doesn't seem as if they did that. Yet they were intentionally dismissive of the rules that they were expected to follow by respectable consumer citizens. By intentionally resisting the rules, these women articulated an individual vision for their viewing experiences. We didn't offer this argument about the expanded potential for ratchetness within an understanding of its limitations. Had the Black women patrons involved in the study not acted collectively or made preparations to ensure the theater gatekeepers were fully aware that, right? So they actually did tell the owners, whatever, this is what we like to do. The outcome would have been likely detrimental, right? Cops would have been called, right? Furthermore, their particular ratchet performances were bound to public sites already associated with leisure and already identified as less hostile to Black patrons. Right, so they didn't go overboard, in other words. Much like the main characters of Girl Trip, many of the moviegoers also occupied privileged social status, college-educated professionals with disposable income and access to groups similarly resourced women. They could appeal to cinema gatekeepers in a way that lesser resourced women might not have been able to do. It has not escaped our awareness that ratchetness is not politically expedient for all black women in every context. There's something else I want to read. Let me try to find it. All right, so this is something else I want to read, right? This is Brittany Cooper's blog. I don't think it's active anymore. I think the last thing that I saw was 2017, but this is some of the things that she wrote. Unclutching my mother's pearls or ratchetness and a residue of respectability. Let's see, right? So she starts this off, right? Recent ATL rapper Shawty Low maybe the potential star of a new reality show featuring him, his 11 children, and his 10 baby mamas had a feminist searching for somebody's pearls to clutch, seeing how even the first lady's love of pearls had not inspired a cop strand of my own. I watched the trailer and all that, right? Let's see. And when I see the rabid nature of respectability politics, it makes me grown-ass woman to see justified referring to each other's sisters hustling. I am reminded I don't ever want to be down with that type of people. This is what I want to get to. So this is the article, right? This is the article on clutching my pearls, right? So this is what I wanted to get to here. Bay's ratchetness is flamboyance, right? So remember, they did this. He's talking about this guy who's starting his own show. He's got 11 children, 10 baby mothers, right? Bay's ratchetness is about flamboyance, about doing the most, baying the most. Shawty Low's brand is ghetto, hood-ish on steroids. In this regard, his show is certainly poised to succeed. My initial thought to my friend on Facebook was, when there's a show about a woman and her 10 baby daddies, then we can have a discussion about alternative families. Until then, this just sounds like women with a few options capitulating to black male patriarchy. She wants to have a show about a woman who's got 10 baby daddies. Patriarchy exempts men from having to grow up. Men don't want superficial relationships, but they have little motivation to cultivate habits of character, emotional generosity, and maturity, selflessness, self-confidence, not ego, that are necessary for good relationships. I don't know who these ladies deal with. If you think that every black man is this Shorty Low character, intuitively, most men reject women who want them only for what they have, and rightfully so, but these same men are rarely challenged to cultivate the kind of emotional consideration they seek in others. They want these things from women, benefit from the time we spend cultivating these attributes in our friendships with other women, but are so equipped, so you're not doing any emotional labor. Elsewhere, I've written about ratchet feminism, primarily as a kind of female friendship forged in the midst of complicated relationships among men, their mothers, and their many women. I think the show will place this concept on the table again as it demands we think about all the creative ways women negotiate patriarchy. At the same time, we have to think about how to embrace the ratchetness and simultaneously dismissal of respectability, a kind of intuitive understanding of all the ways that respectability as a political project has failed black women and continues to disallow the access we have been taught to think and give us. Are black women not always already perceived as ratchet anyway, as over the top, excessive, doing the most, and achieving the least, unable to be contained, except through hopefully insufficient discourses like ghetto, hood, and ratchet, and respectable? Are black men ratchet? Can white women be ratchet? Is this ratchet? Well, it wasn't when they were married. They like their own aesthetics. I'll leave it right here. We'll talk about it right here. So they like their own aesthetics. They want to be able to transform their world, right? This article reminds me of F Your Couch. F your couch. We want to behave the way we want to behave.
Fuck your couch, nigga. Buy another one, you rich motherfucker. Fuck your couch, nigga. Fuck your couch. Darkness is darkness.
I also think that there's a certain level of human boredom that's going on now, particularly in the West. I think there's a lot of human boredom. People are. I saw a video the other day, a guy jumping out of space or something, trying to free fall from space, and people doing rock climbing and crawling through crevices of mountains. You're bored, right? Nothing more. You can't complain about anything. Looking for something to talk about. I think there's a lot of that going on. They like it. I think there's a lot of human boredom. Academics are forced to talk about this and other things because they want to engage in this type of behavior. They want to be able to go to the movies and go to comedy shows and kick their feet up and have these conversations and act in a certain type of way. But public discourse is preventing them from doing so. And I think that this article is telling us that. This is why they want a Tupac in a suit, right? This is why you gotta have certain swag because they have held on to their hood upbringings. They have held on to their hood upbringings. They don't want to leave it. So you as a man, particularly if you're interested in black women, you gotta have that swag. You gotta have the same hood adjacent behaviors that they have. But hood adjacent behaviors for men are detrimental, and she acknowledges that, or these authors acknowledge that in this article. It's different from men. You be hood as a man. We all see what you talk about. Tupac in a suit. We all see what happened to Tupac. See what happened to many other people who try to do the same things and all this. Right? There's just a different way that women are moved through the world. And they're taking advantage of it, in my estimation. And they're embracing it. So I care because number one, because I'm an academic. Number two, because I teach these courses. I have kids who are going to grow up in this environment. Hopefully they want to have good choices to choose from. I have a boy and a girl, so I want them to have good choices to choose from as far as mates. And, as a police officer, so I saw what happened from these broken homes and this ratchet behavior. I saw college professors fighting on the side of the road, married to each other, fighting on the side of the road, crashing each other in the cars. I saw school principals and politicians fighting on the side of the road with their sugar babies, females fighting on the side of the road with their sugar babies. This type of behavior, and I'm including the N-word in this, ratchet, N-word, it's all the same thing to me, does not benefit the black community. I get it. We want to cast off what was deemed as respectable, and we were excluded from everything. I hated sitting in art classes and talking about the Mona Lisa and all this type of stuff when I was in high school and telling me this is culture, this is art. No, it's your culture, and you want to shove it down our throats. I get it. I get that. But there is such a thing as taking it from one pendulum, and we've gone too far. And when you've got academics cheering this stuff on. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Much love and peace.